So hey guys, and welcome back to Vita vs 3DS. So after much thought and deliberation, I've come to the decision not to do the Dead or Alive Dimensions versus Dead or Alive 5 Plus comparison. My rationale to do this before was that it was a fair comparison since I believed that the changes made to Dead or Alive 5's gameplay didn't benefit the game necessarily. And I did see aspects of Dead or Alive Dimensions that I liked a lot better. And, unfortunately, after putting roughly 30 hours into examining both games, I can say with conviction that Dead or Alive 5 Plus is superior in virtually every way, and this video will simply serve to outline some of the ways that Dead or Alive 5 Plus is better, which would, sort of say or show you guys that the comparison really wouldn't be fair. So, although Dead or Alive Dimensions story encompasses Dead or Alive 1 all the way through Dead or Alive 4, it uses Dead or Alive 4's combat engine. Combos are a mix of ground stuns and juggles. The main staple of Dead or Alive has always been the counterhold system, and Dead or Alive Dimensions features the same 4-point counter system of the other games. So while being comboed on the ground, you have a chance to interrupt the combo between hits and do some damage to your opponent. You can attempt a high, low, or two different medium counterholds. The two different ones for medium are medium punch or medium kick. And if the counterhold is successful, it interrupts your opponent's combo and deals damage. This feature is both what defines the series and what is the biggest criticism of the series for hardcore fighting game enthusiasts. So hardcore fighting game enthusiasts, they complain that Dead or Alive's counterhold system rewards people spamming it while being comboed, since the window for the counterhold to land is so large and the potential damage is so great. The risk for doing a counterhold is also minimal, since at worst you miss and your opponent connects with you and you end up in the counter hit state, which really, it's not that bad of a state to be in really for being comboed anyway. Although Dead or Alive Dimensions counterhold damage is reduced from Dead or Alive 2, it's still large enough so that the attacker often takes more damage than the defender when they're attempting ground combos. Thus, ground combos are more risky than they're worth for the vast majority of characters. So high-level play in Dead or Alive Dimensions often revolves around quickly hitting your opponent into a juggle for the highest guaranteed damage possible, since juggles are inescapable. This, unfortunately, greatly reduces the overall depth of the game. So Dead or Alive 5 Plus keeps the same overall combo engine, but refines the animations to reflect the type of stun the characters are in, and it also varies the characters' movesets a little more. Important additions to the fighting engine are the critical bursts and power blows. So critical bursts are extremely potent stun moves which only reach their full stun potential once you link together 3 separate stun chains. So if it lands under these circumstances, your opponent will be stunned for several seconds and unable to attempt a counterhold, leaving you enough time to safely perform any move in your arsenal, including the power blows. So power blows are extremely powerful attacks similar to super moves in Street Fighter games, and they can only be properly activated once per round while your health is less than half. They take a while to wind up, so they can only be properly comboed into with most characters after a potential critical burst. So, the changes made to the combo engine are pretty significant, but the biggest changes for Dead or Alive 5 Plus are also the most subtle, which are the changes made to the counterhold system. The counterholds in Dead or Alive 5 inflict significantly less damage than all the other Dead or Alive games. Moreover, the window for success for counterholds has also been reduced, and the lag frames after performing a counterhold increases. So these 3 changes have made spamming counterholds while being attacked not worth the risk at all. It's much more beneficial to either try to block or sidestep or something else instead of always trying to do a counterhold. So even if you guess right and escape a combo, the damage your opponent dealt to you is likely more than the damage you dealt to him through the counterhold. And also, missing counters allows your opponent to pop you up in the air, like all the way up, even higher than normal off a juggle move for massive juggle combos. And they're able to land, if they hit with a ground hit after you miss a counter, it counts as a counter hit and it's for higher damage and more combo opportunity. So these changes have ultimately made Dead or Alive 5 a much better fighting game. And although it may not be able to go or hang with the likes of Virtua Fighter or Tekken in terms of depth, it is still undisputedly tournament worthy, and the same cannot be said about Dead or Alive Dimensions. And even outside gameplay, the comparison is still really not fair. So disregarding the superior lighting, the sharper graphics, the better textures that the Vita is able to provide over the 3DS, Dead or Alive 5 Plus features an amazing new art style, and the dead doll look of previous Dead or Alive games, Dimensions included, which drove me crazy, have been thrown away in favor of more realistic looking character models, and they all look fantastic. In fact, it's even hard to go back and play Dimensions at this point because of how ridiculous the characters look in comparison. Simply looking at like a character like Hayate, for example, looking at his Dead or Alive 5 model and his Dead or Alive 4 model, or his Dead or Alive 5 Plus model and the Dead or Alive Dimensions model, he looks ridiculous. He looks like a cartoon character, but not cel shaded, and looks really weird. So, although I did prefer the sound in Dead or Alive Dimensions, I preferred not necessarily the sound, but the music in particular. I like how they used the Dead or Alive 2 themes, and they kept that in there. All the old favorites are in there, and I didn't really favor the new themes in Dead or Alive 5. They have grown on me, but I would give it the victory there to Dead or Alive Dimensions, but this small victory doesn't make the battle any less one-sided. So I'm not going to compare the two games, as the sequel is just so much better than the predecessor here. That is an absolute no-brainer and a waste of all of our times. So instead, I'm going to review Dead or Alive 5 Plus after my Fire Emblem review, which goes up shortly, and then put all my effort into the Monster Hunter Tri Ultimate versus Soul Sacrifice comparison. So I apologize to anyone and everyone who is expecting the comparison, and I hope they understand my decision and my rationale not to do it. It was mostly to avoid, I know for the most part, you guys are awesome, the subscribers are great, but, more than you guys are going to watch the video, and there could be a lot of, especially 3DS fans, getting very, very upset at my decision to do that, because it's an easy victory for Vita. So I'll hold off on it, and they would be right, because it's not a fair comparison. So I'm gonna hold off on it, and I hope they can still enjoy the review of Dead or Alive 5 Plus, which is coming shortly. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.